Anyways, we're going to go to Nostr right now and check out a post from Foundation, the makers of the Passport Bitcoin hardware device. So I got a couple things I want to talk about here today in this. One minor, one major. But here's the post from Foundation. Hopefully you can read it. A little bit too heavy there. There we go. Bitcoin wasn't made for corporate balance sheets. So they're suggesting because of strategy, because of 21 Capital, a bunch of these different companies now putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet, that Bitcoin's not made for corporate balance sheets. It's for splitting a bill, helping a friend, buying a coffee, peer-to-peer, human to human. Yes, save some for the future, but don't forget it's money. Spend and replace. That's how Bitcoin will win. And we can see the picture here. A couple people handing over a physical Bitcoin to each other. I don't think I've ever done that. Have you? I have a problem with this post. Let's start with the easy one though first. I cannot stand when companies, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but if I had it my way, nobody would ever make Bitcoin look like a coin, because it's not a coin. And it's confusing to people. I had somebody, is actually my, I don't even know what to call him, my brother's father-in-law. This was a while ago now, but not that long ago. But we were talking about, he was asking me about Bitcoin or something. And he's like, he thought that Bitcoins actually came out of the ground, that they were mined from the ground. But you wonder why. Like, look at this. This is marketing from like one of the biggest Bitcoin companies on the planet. And they're displaying it as a coin. It's not a coin. It's not physical. It's very confusing to me when people use coins to promote Bitcoin. I hate it. I hate this. I hate orange pilling. I'm full of hate today. Orange pilling people, have fun staying poor. Everyone gets Bitcoin the price they deserve. These are just horrible marketing things. And it's no wonder that Bitcoin's taken so long. I mean, I shouldn't say it's taken so long. Like for 16 years, we're doing pretty good. But things like this hold up Bitcoin's adoption because it's confusing. It's very confusing. So that's the first part. Second part here, though, is if we look at this, if we listen to this, Bitcoin wasn't made for corporate balance sheets. Really? Says who? Says who, Foundation? Are you the CEO of Bitcoin? Do you get to decide who owns it and what they do with it? I don't think so. Bitcoin is for everybody. It's for splitting a bill. It's for helping a friend, buying a coffee, peer-to-peer, human to human. Yes, it's for all those things, but it's also for corporate balance sheets, which to me is inevitable, because if this thing is going to succeed, everybody is going to have Bitcoin. Every person, every company on their balance sheet, every country, every AI, everybody is going to want Bitcoin if this thing succeeds. So who is Foundation to tell us who can and can't use Bitcoin? I just think that this is a horrible, horrible thing. But that's not the point of what I want to talk about today. The point is I really want you to understand this, because I know myself, I have a hard time with this all the time. And I think that this is another reason why people struggle with Bitcoin, is because it is so different than anything that we've ever had before. And I want to talk about two things specifically within this. Number one is that humans cannot comprehend exponential growth. We think in terms of linear. The human mind, even though we've seen it before, the human mind can't comprehend exponential growth. And I showed a clip, and maybe I'll link it in the show notes here, for the putting drops of water into a stadium and doubling those drops every minute or something, and how long it would take to fill up the stadium. It's mind-blowing. Like, the human mind cannot comprehend exponential growth. So that's one component. The other component, though, is absolute scarcity. Another thing that we have never had before. I mean, we've had it in terms of, I don't know, very small niche items, but not something like Bitcoin. There has never been an asset with absolute scarcity before. So I want you to keep in mind here, whenever you're listening to people or watching people and they're giving you predictions, including me, by the way. Do not just understand that no matter what people think is going to happen here, nobody has any idea. Because in my mind, exponential growth plus absolute scarcity equals all models are destroyed. We've never had anything like this before. The human mind cannot comprehend this. And so we have no idea when this is going to happen, how high it's going to go, anything. We have no idea. So keep that in mind. I really want you to start focusing on the fundamentals within Bitcoin, growing your own conviction, learning about, obviously, the Bitcoin network, but and much less about the price of Bitcoin. But the other thing here that I want to mention in terms of this is that in the absolute scarcity realm, just know that every single sat that you send to cold storage, to your self-custody, every single sat is a sat that Strategy will never have, 21 Capital will never have, GameStop will never have, Metaplanet will never have it, the US government will never have it, BlackRock will never have that sat. Absolute scarcity means that when you take a sat and you put it into cold storage, that's one sat that they will never have. And that is extremely important because the race, to me, the race is on right now. We have companies racing, we have countries racing, individuals, whether they know it or not, we are racing to accumulate all those sats. And not only against each other, but it's against the big corporations, against the governments, against the centralized institutions that created this whole mess. So keep that in mind. Every time you send Bitcoin, send some sats onto your device into cold storage and into your own self-custody. That's one sat, or however many you send, that these central entities will never have. So take it seriously. Take it seriously. Every time you get some of this fake monetary, fake money called fiat, swap it for Bitcoin. And the last thing that I would say here is that when you have that in mind, and you probably heard me talk about UTXOs in here quite a bit, and I'm much different than most Bitcoiners on anywhere, in the sense that I don't think there is really a threshold for your UTXO size in terms of moving Bitcoin off an exchange and putting it into your own wallet. I don't think that there's a threshold there. A lot of people will tell you 1 million sats, let it build up and then move it over. I don't think that that's the case. I think that anytime you have, like, I just said there's no thresholds, but like a decent amount, not 5,000 sats or something, but any amount, because you have to keep in mind when you send those sats there, you're making it much more difficult for yourself to ever sell those or spend those. So your long-term, like your 90, 95% of your stack, just send it there. You can always deal with the transaction fees, the consolidation later, and you'll be amazed at how much purchasing power those sats, those smaller UTXOs are going to have in the future. And then you're not going to have to worry about compromising your own privacy because of the larger UTXOs. So the race is on. Stack as hard as you possibly can, like your life depends on it, because it does. Our freedom, this thing staying decentralized, depends on us stacking as hard as we can.